Allô, allô? Ouais. J'y vais? Okay. So good morning, everybody. Thank you to be here with me for this workshop. And for a start, I would like to talk a little bit before introducing myself and introducing the topic. I want to share a sentence that I've read a few weeks ago, which I found amusing. So it's from a very famous and most of the great writer and French playwright called Molière. And what did he say? He said that all the ills of mankind, all the tragic misfortunes that fill the history books, all the political blunders, all the failures of the great leaders have arisen merely from a lack of skill at dancing. Amusing, isn't it? So, what does Molière say to us from 4 centuries ago? Well, he says that success, excellence, performance is a question of knowledge, know-how, behavior, good understanding of the environment, but of the links we have with other people, of the network which is around us. Sorry. And this is the very topic of today's workshop, that your performance, the performance of your company, comes from your staff's expertise. So now, let's dance. So I will start by introducing myself. So my name is Claire Chevreau. I'm from the EDF company. I've been working there for about 20 years in the nuclear engineering and nuclear operation. And now I'm head of human capacity building and international training development. So I'll try to be quick now on general and theoretical aspects, and we'll move to a true example, a concrete example of what I've said. So first, I will briefly present EDF Group. So EDF is a world leader in low-carbon electricity generation. As you can see on the screen, there are some figures to read. And we reached these figures with our true treasure. What is our true treasure at EDF? It's not only our fleet, our nuclear power plants, our equipment. Our true treasure is our staff, our employees, which are nearly 200,000 around the world. Thus, it is the really concrete base of our excellence at EDF. And of course, our motto is that staff upskilling is key to performance. So what we decided to put in place to fuel this performance is the EDF Nuclear Academy. So this academy is based in France and in the UK with our EDF Energy colleagues. There are some here in the audience. We've got 25 training centers that are near each nuclear power plant, plus corporate, national and international campuses. And we also are liaise with our R&D, research and development training centers. And we also have the support of some partners, such as the I2EN from the GFEN and other nuclear training organizations. So this is a whole network of vocational training organizations allowing us to reach this performance of our staff and to reach the performance of our equipment and fleet and power plants. So briefly, what is our philosophy, our figures? Well, let's see this overview. So some figures. We've got more than 1,600 trainers, designers. We train more than 200,000 trainees each year and over 40 disciplines. We are supported in this by a wide range of pedagogical equipment, flow loop simulators, mock-ups, workshops, simulated control rooms, and so on. Our methodology is the one that is advocated by the IAEA, which is the SAT, Systematic Approach to Training Methodology. Our academy is for our own EDF staff, and they are numerous, and also for other operators and partners. And what is a strong belief for us is that we need to train people on the job, hands-on. That's real comprehension of the environment of NPP and have a really concrete, real training, not only theoretical, thanks to industrial equipment up to some advanced and digital tools. Of course, this Nuclear Academy covers all the steps of a nuclear project, from design to decommissioning, and of course, a very long operation between them. So that was the theory part. Let's move now to a more practical example case. So I'd like to come with you and discover the development journey of one of our innovative training courses, digital, immersive one, that was designed and developed for improved NPP performance. That's only one example, but we will see how it was developed. So first of all, a little bit again of methodology. So I told you we use the SAT, Systematic Approach to Training methodology, which is an improvement cycle based on different steps: analysis, design, development, implementation, evaluation, and we go it around again. So we will dive into each of these spots to see how we proceeded. So first, analysis, the orange one. So what was our issue? In 2019, we experienced on some of our NPPs some poor performance issues. So looking closer, we saw that we had some nuclear reportable events, which is not good for money, for business, line setup errors, some increased duration of outages. And looking closer, we saw that it was due to some field workers' errors, not appropriate reactions to unexpected events, and so on. Well, question of behavior, because their knowledge of the complexity of a reactor building was not so good. Maybe the youngest one were not so aware of the reactor building. Of course, the reactor building is usually closed, so it's really hard to train into the reactor building. And we thought, yes, we have to do this, to do things for this, and I think training will be the solution. So we analyzed this and find all the areas for improvement to have a better situation. So of course, the overall priority is to reinforce nuclear safety, to reinforce human performance practices, to erase errors, management of fortuitous events, line setup activities, and overall the knowledge of the complex reality of a real reactor building. So that was the analysis phase. For the design, we thought, well, we have to redesign our existing field workers refresher training, and we have to focus on a realistic, complex work environment they have to perform their tasks in. And there was a good idea. Someone said, yes, we've got two very interesting tools, digital tools. One was the complete 3D mock-up of our reactor buildings. We have this for all our reactors, types of reactors in France. And let's combine it with a process simulator. For the development, we created a realistic reactor building environment through immersive virtual reality. So field workers use a virtual reality mask, are sent to a virtual reactor building, and they have to perform tasks. But there are some unexpected events or people that are disturbing them while they are performing the tasks. So the huge work, which took about 1 to 2 years, was to develop these simulated scenarios to prepare them to do real life in the reactor building. Equipment failure, interruption, fortuitous events. And that was a very interesting work for us all, because it was a very collaborative approach between our NPP operation experts, our training experts, as well as our research and development experts from the Connexity department. A very collaborative work. And then was the time for the implementation. That was the beginning of this year, with the implementation of experimental sessions in one of our NPPs in Panly, in Normandy. It is a 1,300 megawatt power plant. And we've made these experimental sessions. It was really fulfilling. There was a very positive feedback from our field workers. We made, of course, some improvements. That's why we do experimental sessions. And now we have implemented this training tool to all of our similar NPP. And in the future, we will develop it on all our NPPs. Because on all of our training centers next to each NPP, there is always a virtual reality room. On every campus, there is one room like this for other training sessions. So we were able to use the existing masks and put this training on. So let's come back to performance. From a first point of view, low point of view, what are the benefits in performance for training? So this is a good development because this training session is easily scalable and extendable. You can add some new situation to train on because of some feedback we will have in the future in the operation. We can put it everywhere. It's really playful, of course, that it's a kind of game, and it's really effective and very appreciated by our field workers. That's also a better use, a better schedule for our own workshops, because people can train on our workshops and as well on this new equipment. We can use it for just-in-time training courses. If our field workers have to perform one task that is not so often on the plant, well, they can train with this item and then be prepared for the task in the real reactor building. And what was not expected, And what we discovered during the experimental sessions is that it's a really good way for knowledge transfer. Because one field worker is experiencing a session with one task to perform, and the other ones from his team are watching it on a big screen, and they comment, they give feedback, and hence the most experienced guys give advice to the youngest ones. So that's really a good way for knowledge transfer. That was not expected, but it's a good news. So this is from training perspective, but from industrial company performance perspective. Well, first of all, it improves nuclear safety. It improves plant availability with less errors and reduce costs due to extended outages. When you know the cost of extended outages or reportable events, you know that it's worth developing it. So I hope I've convinced you that your performance, your company performance, comes from your staff's expertise. So invest in training them. I hope you enjoyed this moment. If you have some question now, I'm open to it on the dance floor. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, please. Okay. So there was a question about the classrooms and the headsets needed. So no investment because we already had virtual reality classrooms in our training centers. So that was okay. So field workers are working one by one. So actually you need only one headset per classroom. So easily, but we may modify our training and use several workers. Why not? That's okay. But for a start, one is needed. Yes. Okay. So, how many people were involved in this development? So there were several departments involved in this. So I would say maybe kind of around 10 people, I would say, yes. Plus all the people that were involved on the experimental sessions that were, of course, a little bit numerous. That's the average figures. So again, there was the R&D department, the training department, and of course, operation experts. Other questions? Okay, so thank you very much. I'm very glad we had this moment to talk about competencies. And enjoy the rest of your visit. And please visit us on the EDF booth. We will be happy to see you and explain everything. Thank you very much.